Hello, hello. So, how much do you know about the law of attraction? And would you like to learn 3 steps to begin to consciously create and attract the life you love? Well, that's my topic for today. And this actually comes from an article. I'm a contributing writer for Aspire magazine. And this article was published in the June-July 2023 edition of Aspire magazine. And I'll put the information in the show notes. It's a wonderful, supportive magazine for women. And I'd love to point you to it. So let's dig in. We're going to talk about the law of attraction. This law is likely one of the most recognized and familiar of the many universal laws. And, many already have an idea of what this natural law means, but may not know how to consciously work with it. And I like this quote by a gentleman by the name of Michael Lozier in his book titled Law of Attraction, The Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't, because I think it's quite relatable and it's really easy to understand. And what he says is, I attract to my life whatever I give my attention, energy, and focus to, whether that's positive or negative. It makes it really easy to understand. And you know what? When we become aware of this law, we can work with it and we can begin to consciously attract into our lives those things we really want. We can undo the patterns of attracting the people and the situations and the things in our lives that we don't want, or those things that drain our energies. We can learn how to work with all of that. And that's what I like to do through some of my teachings with law of attraction. I am a master certified law of attraction life coach. And so know a little bit about this stuff. So anyway, whether you understand this powerful law or not, you're experiencing it every day. For instance, have you ever noticed bumping into or receiving an email from someone that you've been kind of thinking about? That person pops in your head and all of a sudden you get an email from them. Or just those feelings of being in the right place at the right time. Or the person that constantly finds herself in the same bad boy situations time and again. We all know those people, it seems. Or receiving a good income, but consistently feeling or thinking that you're broke, that you feel like you're broke. These are all examples of law of attraction in action. And this is not a fancy term or new age magic woo-woo. It's really simply a law of nature that every cell of your being is in constant response, whether you know it or not. And when we become aware of this law, we can work with it and we can begin to consciously attract into our lives those things that we really, really want. And we can undo those patterns of attracting those people, those situations, those things in our lives, those happenings, everything comes in 3 kind of thing. We can undo all of that. We can undo those things that we don't, or those things that just drain us or drain our energies. So where do we begin? Well, this law works based on our energy frequency levels. And what I like to talk about is to attract what you want, you must align with the energies of the things you wish to experience. And I'm going to share a really classic law of attraction example. And that is an example of a radio console, the old-fashioned radio consoles, if you can remember those. And let's think for a moment at the low end of the dial, say it's channel AM 54, and we're going to pretend it's talk radio for purposes of my example today. Excuse me. The energy frequency of talk radio is vibrating at a lower level. Okay, so just imagine the low end of the radio dial is talk 54, AM 54, and it's vibrating at a lower energy frequency. And envision that this is where your lower level emotions reside. And those would be things such as when you feel lonely, or you feel bored, or anger, or frustration, or maybe you feel grief or worry or powerlessness. Perhaps you're in this sense of stuckness or depression, or maybe you're just a little pessimistic about what's going on around you. Or maybe you just feel this sense of overwhelm. You just can't get everything done, or there's just too much to do. collectively, you can think of these kinds of lower frequencies, emotions, as kind of this bundle called lack. Okay. When you're in lack, you don't feel good. It's an emotion or a feeling that is a lower energy vibration, and you just don't feel good when you're in lack. Okay. So conversely, at the higher end of the radio spectrum resides FM 106, and we're going to call that classic rock. So let's assume that these are higher level energies and higher level radio frequencies. FM 106 is a higher level frequency than AM 54. Okay. These higher level energies, such as joy and love and passion and belief and positive expectation and happiness, excitement and confidence and contentment, and these good feels all reside and collectively are in an energetic place of what we call abundance. So at one end of the scale, we have lack, lower level vibration, and at one end of the scale, we have higher level vibration. We have abundance. We have really good feelings. So now if you think about that scale, if you're tuned into AM 54, there's no level of wishing you can do to hear your favorite Bob Seger song or REO Speedwagon song. Yes, I know I'm dating myself. But as long as you're tuned into AM 54, you're not going to hear anything else but talk radio. If you're tuned into classic rock, you're going to hear classic rock, right? So your energy frequency simply doesn't align or match with the higher frequency of FM 106. So what do? Well, it's simple, folks. You choose to change your energetic dial. And this is really a good time to point out that no matter where you're currently tuned in on the radio dial, because we all have ups and downs, the emotions you're feeling at any given time are not wrong or bad. Society likes to make us feel wrong or bad when we feel certain ways. And I want you to know that how you feel is never wrong or bad. It's just information for you. And it's telling you, hey, I'm not feeling so good today. I'm resonating at an energetic level of lack, or I'm resonating at an energetic level of abundance. It's really just information for your body. So, I want you to kind of see if you can shift your perspective on what society has taught us about how we're feeling is good or bad. Because it's really not. It's really just information for your body. And when you become aware, you can turn and you can tune into the station you wish to dance to, no matter where that is on your dial. So that's a little bit about law of attraction. It's a kind of a simplistic discussion, but what I want to do is next, let's talk about 3 steps to begin consciously creating and attracting a life that you love. Because you can make, like I said in the beginning, you can make law of attraction work for you instead of against you. Okay. The first step, and you've probably heard this before, is recognize that everything is energy. Everything's in constant motion, vibrating at higher or lower frequencies. Remember your physics class you probably had in high school, and you probably learned a little bit about energy, but resonating at a higher frequency, and again, think love and joy and happiness, is going to attract more of the same frequencies into your life. So love yourself fully and completely first to attract the same loving frequency people to you. And the converse is true as well. So pessimism, powerlessness, victim consciousness, that's going to bring more of the same to you. When you look around at the people that you're hanging with, are they a pretty positive group? Or are they kind of more on the pessimistic or maybe lower level, kind of negative kind of side? If that's the case and you're not able to change that situation, maybe you need to hang out with some more positive people. I say that in jest, but that's just to, kind of have you realize we are kind of who we hang out with. We are kind of the thoughts that we think. And so we need to change those things if we want to change our state and feel better. So step 2 in this whole process, it would be to focus your awareness. And my question for you is, are you floating through life and creating by default like most people do? You know, most of us just kind of let life happen to us. We just think that things are not in our control. We think that life happens to us a lot of times. And a lot of times that's kind of how we're brought up. We just think that life's just going to happen. But I'm here to hopefully shift your perspective on the fact that you can create the life, the life that you love, the life that you want. And you do this by consciously creating and focusing on what you want to attract into your life. So there is a choice. You can create by default and just let what comes, what may come, and or you can choose to consciously create by focusing your thoughts and your actions on what it is that you want in your life. And finally, I'm going to talk about step 3, which is live life consciously. You know, we always have control over our responses to any situation or any person in our life, even if we feel like we don't have that power. We do. We can control how we react in any situation. We can choose to play the victim and believe that life just happens to us, or we can drop this untrue belief. We can empower ourselves and we can decide to show up and react in a different way. And if you're ready to harness the law of attraction to serve you in the most empowering way, what do you do about it? Well, first, you need to get really clear about what you do want your life to look like, the person that you want to be, and how you want to feel. You just have to get some clarity. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Today, what I want to do is share with you a little bit of a journaling process to kind of get you started, to get you some clarity, get you on that path. And obviously, you know, I'm just scratching the surface of law of attraction and how it all works, but this will kind of get you started. And there's always ways to go deeper. So what I want to do is start with suggesting some daily journaling practice. I find personally, I use journaling a lot. I find it very, very, very empowering. It's a great energy release. Actually putting pen or pencil to paper and just journaling out your thoughts is a wonderful way to work with this law. And this journaling practice I have is a few steps, and I'm going to take you through it now. Okay. So step number 1, I want you to write down a list of 3 things that you want to attract into your life. And then I want you to leave a space below each item. Just use some notebook paper or, you know, whatever you have. If you have a journal, it's a great way to do it. Write down a list of 3 things you wish to attract in your life. Only 3. We'll just work on 3. And think about this as you're writing these things down. What do you want to be, do, or have? What kinds of relationships or situations do you want to attract? Okay. So make your list of the 3. Now we're going to go a little deeper. Step number 2. Under each of those 3 items, I want you to list 5 reasons why you want this item, this person, or this situation in your life. What this does is, you know, we often think about, you know, I want A, B, and C, but we don't often go a little deeper and talk about, well, why do I want this? You know, dig into really, why do you want this? This helps you to really go deep and get very clear in your focus. And that's a lot of times what people miss, is just probing a little deeper to find out, well, why is it I want that? So once you've got your list and you've got your list of 3, you've got your 5 reasons under each item of things that you want and the reasons that you want them. Let's go to step number 3. Now, finally, under each of these reasons, think deeply about how having this in your life will make you feel. What is the essence of how you want to feel? What's the higher energy frequency that you wish to attract to you? Okay. This is all about how we want to feel and increasing our energetic vibration, and verbalizing these things is really going to help you do that. So let me give you an example. Maybe you start by thinking you want a newer car that doesn't break down. But when you dig down deep, it seems simple, right? But when you dig down deep, the essence of what you might want really is to be releasing the worry and the fear and bringing in the feelings of safety and security a newer car may bring you. Okay. So it might not just be about the car, but you're really the essence of what you're wanting is really the feelings of safety and security a new car may bring you. Or you know, you love that new car smell, that new car feel, that new car smell. I'm a little bit of a car chick, so I like new cars. I like cars. So, you know, when you think about it again, to go through this exercise, get into that feeling space. Why is it? What is it? What do I really want? And now, once you drill down, you may realize that you can choose to feel that essence now and make the law of attraction work for you even more quickly. So if you're looking for, let's go back to our example, the feelings of safety and security that that new car may bring you, what can you do right now to make yourself feel more safe and secure in the meantime until you get that new car? What could you do? So think about that. That's what we're trying to do, is get to the essence. Now, I want you to realize what I'm inviting you to do. Do this practice for 30 days, once a day for 30 days. It'll probably take you 5 or 10 minutes. Do it at the beginning of your day. You can kind of think about it and ruminate it during the day. And after 30 days, you're going to have a wonderful journal full of desires that are really clear and concise and forward focused. And as you write these things down, you're going to be letting the universe know that it needs to start sending you these things your way. Okay. When we put it out there, what we want, and we start really focusing on that instead of what we don't want, which most of us tend to do. We're socialized to focus on the negative or the things we don't want. Instead, we shift and start focusing on the things that we do want. It's very magical. It's a wonderful thing. And you will see that as you work with this law and you start doing these simple little processes and you start focusing on what you want, things are going to start happening. You might, you might get a call from someone you haven't heard from for a while. You might see all of a sudden just positive things happening that you never thought would happen. So I invite you to play with law of attraction. If you ever want to go deeper, I'm here. Check out my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of videos on it. I'd love for you to schedule a discovery call. We can talk about how I can help you. And you can also check out more information on my blog. It's Karen Shier Coaching /blog. And you'll get to my Midlife Wisdom blog. So I have a lot of things out there on working with universal laws, but also working with soothing your inner critic. I invite you along to check those things out. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the journaling practice. I hope that you'll do it and not just set this aside. See what it can do for you, because when we become aware of the law of attraction, we can work with it and consciously attract what we desire. It's just practice and it'll come. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you on the next video. See you soon. Bye for now. Thank you.